When you picture a lottery winner, you probably imagine someone lucky, someone special, someone fundamentally different from you. But the truth is the exact opposite. The biggest lottery winners in history were almost never anyone special at all. They were a school teacher, a social worker, a parking attendant with $50,000 in debt, an 84-year-old grandmother. Ordinary people working ordinary jobs, living lives exactly like yours, right up until the moment one single ticket changed everything. These are the real stories of ordinary working people who won the lottery and what their lives looked like before and after. Stay until number 1 because he had just $1,000 to his name, and what he won will make you believe it really could happen to anyone, even you. Number 7, Les Robbins, the teacher. Back in 1993, Les Robbins was a middle school teacher in Wisconsin, grading papers and coaching kids, living the modest, steady life of a public school educator. Then he won a $111 million Powerball jackpot, one of the largest of its entire era. Most people would have fled to a beach and never looked back. Les did something different. He quit teaching, yes, but then he took his fortune and built something for children, a sprawling summer camp called Camp Winnegator, where local kids could fish, swim, and play. The teacher, who had spent his whole life pouring into kids, simply found a much bigger way to keep doing it. Number 6, Sandra Hayes, the social worker. In 2006, Sandra Hayes was a social worker in Missouri, spending her days helping struggling families, when she and a group of her co-workers won a $224 million Powerball jackpot. Her share came to around $6 million. But Sandra's story is remembered most for what she learned. Almost overnight, she said, people she had known for years came at her with their hands out, and she had to figure out who her real friends actually were. She later wrote an entire book about it, warning other winners about the vampires that sudden money brings out. The woman who had spent her career protecting vulnerable people suddenly had to learn how to protect herself. Number 5, Bob Erb, the tree planter. Bob Erb spent most of his life doing hard physical labor, including years working as a tree planter in Canada. In 2012, he won $25 million. And rather than lock it all away, Bob became famous for the opposite. He gave enormous amounts of it away, handing money to friends, to strangers, to his entire hometown, funding community projects and causes he believed in. He knew exactly what it felt like to have nothing, so when he suddenly had everything, his very first instinct was to spread it around. An ordinary working man who decided his fortune was meant to be shared. Number 4, Gloria McKenzie, the grandmother. In 2013, at 84 years old, Gloria McKenzie became one of the oldest people ever to win a giant jackpot, taking home a Powerball prize worth nearly $600 million. She had lived a long, quiet, modest life, and winning did not suddenly turn her into someone else. She helped her family. She paid to repair the roof of a local school, and she stayed grounded through all of it, living proof that it is never too late for your moment to come, and that you never have to become a different person to handle a fortune with grace. Number 3, Juan Rodriguez, the parking attendant. This might just be the most incredible before and after on the entire list. In 2004, Juan Rodriguez was an immigrant working as a parking garage attendant in New York City, and he was roughly $50,000 in debt. He had almost nothing to his name. Then he won a $149 million Mega Millions jackpot. Overnight, a man drowning in debt became one of the richest people in the entire city. Now, his story wasn't all a fairy tale. His marriage fell apart not long after, and his wife claimed half. A hard reminder of how fast money can change everything around you. But the image of a broke parking attendant holding a giant check is exactly why people never stop dreaming. Because if it could happen to him, then why not you? Number 2, Mavis Wanczyk, the hospital worker. For over 30 years, Mavis Wanczyk worked at a hospital in Massachusetts, the kind of steady, unglamorous job that millions of people quietly show up to every single day. Then, in 2017, she won a $758 million Powerball jackpot, the largest single-ticket win in American history at the time. And the very first thing Mavis did with it, she called her job and told them she was never coming back. She had worked there for more than 3 decades. She took her freedom, stepped out of the spotlight, and vanished into a quiet, private life. The ordinary hospital worker who used a single ticket to buy back every one of her remaining days. Number 1, Manuel Franco, the young man with $1,000. And here is the one that proves it truly can happen to anyone. In 2019, Manuel Franco was just 24 years old, living in Wisconsin, working a regular job with, by his own account, only about $1,000 in his bank account. He was as ordinary and as broke as a young person gets. Then he stopped at a gas station, bought a ticket, and won $768 million, one of the biggest prizes in the history of the lottery. He went from $1,000 to nearly $500 million in his account overnight. And then, like the smartest winners always do, he said a few quiet words to the world and disappeared to build his life in peace. A regular 24-year-old with almost nothing became one of the richest young people in the country on a single slip of paper. So look closely at who these people really were. Not celebrities, not geniuses, not the rich, and not the well-connected. A teacher, a social worker, a tree planter, a grandmother, a parking attendant buried in debt, a hospital worker, a broke 24-year-old, ordinary people living lives exactly like yours, right up until one perfectly ordinary day became the day that everything changed. And that is the part nobody can ever take away from you. The next big winner is always someone completely ordinary, right up until the very moment they're not. So here's my question for you. When your day finally comes, what is the first thing you will do? Tell me in the comments. And if you believe your win is on its way, subscribe to the Jackpot Oracle and start getting ready for it now. Because we believe the universe is already lining yours up. See you in the next one.